Hello, my name is Simon.
And my name is Matthias. And this time we are testing the LG Nexus 5X. The Nexus 5X is the successor to the Nexus 5, which came out in 2013. I love the Nexus 5 mostly because of the good software experience. But the material choice in the Nexus 5 was pretty bad. Too much plastic, in my opinion. The Nexus 5X has more expensive design, but it still feels cheap compared to other phones for the same money. But the Nexus 5 feels good in the hand and is not that slippery as all expensive phones tend to be today. 5X is available in 3 colors: black, white and some kind of blue.
The hardware in the Nexus 5X is not the best. It's comparable with the LG G-Force hardware. It has Snapdragon 808, Adreno 418, 2GB of RAM, and you have 2 options between the 16 and the 32GB of storage. There's no memory card slot, which LG G4 actually have. The LG Nexus 5X and the Nexus 6P have the best fingerprint sensor on the market. The only downside to the fingerprint sensor is its placement if you want to use it on the table. Otherwise, its placement is awesome. The screen on the Nexus 5X has a pretty normal size at 5.2 inches. And the resolution is 1080p. That is not a high resolution these days, but it is a good resolution. And it's hard to see any difference between this screen and a screen with Quad HD. But we have mixed feelings about the display. The colors, the viewing angles, and the brightness is good, but not better than any other phone you can buy for the same price.
So, is the Nexus 5X the fastest phone in the world? No. Normally when you see a Nexus you expect no lag at all. We can't say the Nexus 5X is slow or lag much, but sometimes the FPS drops a little bit for some reason. You won't notice it if you don't search for it, but the 5X lags. Sometimes. Even though the Nexus 5 lags a little bit, the operating system is one of the best things with this phone. It has a clean version of Android and always the latest version. In the latest version, Android 6, Google have added a couple of features. Not anything that will change your life, but some handy features. Now on Tap is a new feature which can be activated by holding the home button down. Then it will scan your screen and look for anything interesting to search for. Like if you are getting an email with a name of a restaurant, you can just hold down the button to Google it. And then you will see some interesting information like the opening times or the prices. Another good feature is the dose, which makes the standby time excellent. It simply knows when you're not using the phone and tries to not sync everything that often when you're not using it. But even though the battery life is increased by the featured dose, it is still pretty bad, or maybe average. It will survive around 2.5 hours of screen on time, and that's bad considering that the phone has a 2700 mAh battery. Anyway, a very good thing with the 5X is the charging times. In just 1 hour it charges from 0 to 100% of battery, or in a quarter of an hour from 0 to 25%. And that's without the quick charger. So why is the charging so fast? That is because the USB Type-C. USB-C is the new standard in phones. It is better than the micro USB cable in every way. And yes, it is reversible. And supports faster charging and faster transferring speeds than ever before. So this is very future-proof.
The camera sensor is made by Sony, which most camera sensors are these days. It is able to capture slow motion videos in 720p in 120 frames per second. And it's also able to record in 4K. The performance of the camera is quite nice, especially in low light conditions and considering the low price of this phone, depending on where you live. The camera app is very boring both in functions and design, even though the design is clean. A nice feature of the camera is that you can double tap on the power on off button to wake the camera up.
Yeah, and for the conclusion, the Nexus 5X is a good phone.
Yeah, And the price is for the 16 gigabyte version in US around $330, and the 32 gigabyte version is around $430.
So it's not super cheap, but it's still cheap. If you, yeah, it's cheap. So thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. You have a subscribe button right below the video. Yeah, subscribe and like.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.